And welcome back, rugby fans, to Rugby411. As always, I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and it is finally here. Week 1 of the 2023 Major League Rugby season is upon us, and it feels like it's been forever, and I just cannot wait. 6 games for our first weekend. 2 of them are going to kick off Friday, February 17th. Super excited, and just like last year, I'm going to do a week-by-week preview of all the games that are going on in Major League Rugby, as well as a follow-up review over those games, and of course, I will be making my pick'ems to who I feel will win each game, and this will lead into, once again, our Rugby411 Super Brew Pick'em competition. I made the announcement from my last videos, the 2023 Major League Rugby preview. If you missed out on that, I'll put the information on joining our Super Brew Pick'em pool in the information portion of the video. It's a lot of fun, absolutely free. I did this last year. We had, I believe we had about maybe a dozen people compete in this absolutely free Pick'em Rugby pool. All you have to do, sign up for Super Brew. It's a free app. You will join our Rugby411 Super Brew Pick'em pool for Major League Rugby. You pick the winner of every game throughout the entire season. The player who gets the most picks correct ends up winning the pool. And even though it is absolutely free to join, there is a prize. I will get you, for whoever wins our pool, a Major League Rugby t-shirt of your favorite team of your choice, and I will send it to you at the end of the season. I, of course, am competing in the season as well, so if I win, the agreement is I will make a donation to a charity of my choice, or we'll come to a consensus. I usually like to donate a little bit behind the scenes. I usually like to donate to the SPC LA, the LA branch of the SPC, which supports animals that have been abused or on the streets, especially dogs, and tries to give them their new forever homes and shelters as well. So I usually donate to that fund. I will donate to that if I end up winning the pool. And I'll have to say, I'm pretty good. I came very close last year. But let's see what happens this season. It's going to be a very interesting season. I mean, as if you saw my preview videos, there's a lot of transition going on. A lot of teams have new people on their rosters. And, of course, we do have the new team in town, the Chicago Hounds. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. But enough of an intro. Let's get into the games. Like I mentioned, all 12 teams are playing 6 games for our kickoff weekend. And we'll start with 2 games on kickoff day, Friday, February 17th. All the kickoff times here are Pacific Standard Time, so just do the math accordingly. 2 games. First one, Toronto Arrows at Rugby ATL, 4 p.m. Pacific Time kickoff, being played at Silverback Stadium in Atlanta. Really interesting game to kick off the season. Toronto Arrows struggled last year simply because they were on the longest road trip in the entire history of sports, so it will be nice to see them finally have a consistent training schedule, be able to play at home. Obviously, they have to start the season away, and they'll be playing with the newly branded Rugby ATL team at their Silverback Stadium. So even though I feel Rugby ATL will struggle because they're losing some very important pieces of their team, including Yancey Van Rensburg and Joaquin de la Vega Medina. Again, the Toronto Arrows, a team that struggled quite a bit last year, did make a lot of changes to the roster, in my opinion. I feel that Rugby ATL will still be the better team in this game. Plus, home field advantage does actually come into a factor in Major League Rugby being played in Atlanta. I give the win to Rugby ATL in this game. Then, 1 hour later, don't know why they made it this way, but 1 hour later, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff, New England Free Jacks go over to the gold mine in New Orleans to play NOLA Gold. Now, this one will be I got a lot of slack with my with my preview and my way too early predictions of where I felt the Major League Rugby teams will end by the end of the season. A lot of New England Free Jack fans took offense to the fact that I dropped these guys down all the way to number 11. But hey, just gotta say, the loss of one of the best players last year at Major League Rugby, Bodine Waka, and then the loss of Slade McDowell, two New England Free Jacks, I feel are just two huge pieces to what made New England such a dominant team last season. I also feel that with the additions to their team, they haven't done anything, in my opinion, to improve on the losses that they made. Now, on the flip side, Nola Gold, there's no Carl Myers, there's no Nick Feeks, there's no Juan Capello. It will be interesting, and this is going to be a running theme this week, which I thought was kind of interesting. Former players playing against their former teams. Dougie Fife, formerly of the New England Free Jacks, just traded over to Nola Gold in the offseason. This will be the first game that he will be playing his former teammates. Be interesting to see how that works out. Once again, even though I don't feel Nola will have a very good season either, home field advantage plays in favor of Nola. I feel New England's going to struggle a lot this season. And I feel they will start off the season with an L. And I'm giving the win for week 1, to Nola Gold. Then, Saturday, we have 3 games. This is the first one kicking off February 18th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff, so early morning rugby. Saturday is a great day for rugby, as always. It will be the first time that all of us get a chance to watch the new kids on the block, the Chicago Hounds, playing at Segra Field against Old Glory DC. Now, Old Glory is a team I feel will improve a lot this season. They have all the pieces from last year. Jameson Fanana Schultz, Danny Tusitala, Threaten Palemo. This game may be the debut of former New Zealand All-Black player Kurt Baker to Old Glory DC, which will be a lot of fun to watch him play and see how he does in stateside with Major League Rugby. And even though they're bringing back all those pieces, they were a team that I felt was very close to being at that next level. The Chicago Hounds, pretty much a combination of 2 of the top teams from last year, the Austin Gilgronis and the former Major League Rugby champions, the LA Giltinis, combined together into now what's called the Chicago Hounds. I feel that is going to be a very, very dangerous team. I mean, you look at that lineup, and if you saw my preview video, it's a who's who of really amazing players. Bryce Campbell, J.P. Eloff, formerly of Nola Gold, still the top point scorer in Nola Gold franchise. Mark O'Keefe, who is the top try scorer of the Austin Gilgronis. Hugh Roach, young up-and-coming Eagles, Michael Baska, Chris Matina. You have two-time backs player of the year for Major League Rugby, Billy Meeks, formerly of the LA Giltinis. You have Luke Carty. You have so much talent being put together on this team. I just feel, again, they're not going to struggle like the Dallas Jackals did, who were the new kids on the block. I feel they'll have very much a reminiscence of how the LA Giltinis totally blew away the competition year number 1. Again, I don't know if they'll make the championship games or playoffs, but they'll definitely have a pretty damn good season. And I feel they'll start off the season 1-0. Before we continue on with the rest of the games scheduled for Saturday, I forgot to mention that all these games can be seen live and on demand for free on the Rugby Network app. The Rugby Network app is an absolutely free app. Highly recommend you download it. You can play it on your iPad, on your smart TV, on Google devices. And again, it's absolutely free, guys. You can watch every game this season and last season from Major League Rugby, as well as a lot of rugby content, games from all over the country, high school, college, Major League Rugby. You can also watch international rugby. They have games from Japan on the Rugby Network as well. Absolutely free. Highly recommend you download that as well. So, Saturday, the remaining 2 games for Saturday are huge games to kick off the Major League Rugby 2023 season. First, we have Saturday, February 18th, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. Utah Warriors heading over to San Diego to open up the new Snapdragon Stadium on the field of UC San Diego. Beautiful stadium, home to the San Diego Legion. This is going to be a very physical game between two very bitter rivals in a very competitive Western Conference. Again, the running storyline, former player playing against former team, former Utah Warriors player Mikey Teo rejoining the San Diego Legion to play against his former team. The Utah Warriors last year was that very interesting team that I felt were going to do much, much better. They struggled the entire season, and they have such a great roster of players. Are bringing pretty much all of them back, including Cliven Lobster, Joe Mano. Hopefully a fully recovered and healed up Mika Kruse. Of course, they're losing Mikey Teo, who's in San Diego. But again, they're playing against a very, very dangerous San Diego Legion team who did a lot of moves in the offseason to bolster their team up. You have, of course, first Mikey Teo, like I mentioned before. You have Isaac Ross, formerly of the Austin Gilgronis. You have Ma Nonu returning to the team. You have Nate Osberger, Ryan Matias. You also have some new former LA Guiltini members coming over to the San Diego team, including Luke Burton, Christian Poy-Devin. I mean, the Legion look completely stacked. It's going to be a very, very physical and fun game, this game between Utah and San Diego. And also a very important game for the Western Conference, which, as I mentioned in my Western Conference preview video, victories are going to be coming at a premium. It's going to be very competitive. You have to try to win all these games against your Western rivals. This will be a very important game. This game also may be the debut of Joel Hodgson for the Utah Warriors, formerly of the Newcastle Falcons in the Premiership Rugby League over in Europe. A veteran player who will bring a lot of experience to the pitch for the Utah Warriors. But I don't feel that's going to be enough. I don't feel Utah will have enough to deal with the newly bolstered San Diego Legion team. So I feel San Diego will open up their season at the new Snapdragon Stadium with the win. Also to mention, not only can you watch this game on the Rugby Network, but you can also watch this game on Fox Sports 2. Next, the other huge game on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time kickoff. It is a rematch of last year's Major League Rugby Championship game between your reigning and defending Major League Rugby champions, the newly named Rugby New York Ironworkers, against the two-time Major League Rugby champions, the Seattle Seawolves. This game technically has the only two teams that have won a Major League Rugby championship currently playing in the league. 3 championships between them. This will be a fun game. It will be played at Starfire Stadium. I don't know how much bigger a game you can have during the season, and it's kicking off in week 1 for the 2023 season. If you are a new rugby fan, or if you're trying to get people into rugby, I highly recommend you watch this game because I feel you have the best of the best playing in this game. I mean, let's start with Rugby New York Ironworkers. You have Dylan the Butcher Fawcett in there. You have the top try scorer of last year, Ed Fidel, who is playing for Rugby New York. Jack Hyten, the top point scorer in all of Major League Rugby history, Sam Windsor, playing for Rugby New York. And, of course, Pago Haini, who is amazing on and off the pitch. And then you have the Seattle Seawolves, who have the top point scorer of last season, AJ Alatimu. You have 10 try scorer Rickard Hadding, who was my Major League Rugby Player of the Year last year. Not only are they also adding Connor Mooningham and Jake Turnbull to the team, you also have Martin Iosefo, former Eagles player on the Seattle Seawolves. You have a bunch of stars playing against each other, some of the best players in Major League Rugby in one game. This is a can't-miss game, easily the game of the week. And it might shock you. I feel, even though both teams are pretty much coming back with the same roster, Andy Ellis of Rugby New York did announce his retirement, though he is now a technical advisor for New York. I feel this game is going to go in favor of Seattle Seawolves, and they will avenge their championship loss. Home field advantage does play a little bit of a factor. Starfire Stadium was one of the loudest stadiums in Major League Rugby. That that 16th man is technically not a lie when it comes to Seattle. And I feel that they're going to avenge their loss of the championship, start their first week with a win, giving your defending reigning champions, the Rugby New York Ironworkers, a loss in week number 1. It's a bold statement by me, but that's what I'm going with. And you can watch this game on Fox Sports 1 as well as the Rugby Network. And now, the final game of the season, Sunday, February 19th, 5:05 p.m. kickoff time, Pacific Standard Time. You have the Houston Sabercats going over to Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas to take on the Dallas Jackals. Not as exciting a game as this one. Let's start with the Dallas Jackals. Unfortunately, the team that ended the season last year with no wins pretty much brings back the same team with a couple of additions. Again, same running storyline. Former Houston Sabercats players Marcus Moroni and Juan Pablo Zeiss will be playing against their former team in Houston. You also have Adrian Carlesi, who's probably the best player that's still on the Dallas Jackals, but just not a lot more after that. Houston are adding in Hanko Hermesice, former of the LA Guillotines, Mr. Terminator himself. That's a huge get for them. Former Dallas player Carlos Denishian is playing for the Houston Sabercats, will play against his former team. You also have former LA Guillotines Nate Moose de Hoyt on the team as well. Houston's bringing back Davey Coetzee, who was their top point scorer last year, Danny Boom Boom Barrett, and of course Light van der Scheif, who was their top try scorer last year as well. Houston was a team that struggled a bit, but kind of came on near the end of the season. I feel that they will be more consistent this season. Again, the Western Conference is going to be very, very tough, very hard to compete, but the Dallas Jackals are still going to be the whipping boy to pretty much almost everybody in the league, sadly. So Houston will walk into Dallas with a victory. And want to make an announcement now. This game, the Houston Sabercats versus the Dallas Jackals, will be a game that I will actually do a watch-along with. I had a lot of fun. I did a couple of watch-alongs when the USA women's team competed for the USA Women's World Cup, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun watching and talking to some of the fans and rugby fans, and it was just a lot of fun to do. So I thought, hey, why not do that with Major League Rugby as well? So I will be watching this game, and you will do a watch along with me. Now, what a watch along is, I'm not showing the game. You can watch it again, free, live on the Rugby Network. That's what I'm going to be doing. But I'm going to be streaming me watching it on my YouTube channel, Rugby411, which obviously you're watching this video on there. So you can watch the game along with me, chat with me, ask questions if you're a new rugby fan, talk with me about the game if you are a diehard rugby fan. Again, it'll be a lot of fun. But so don't forget, that's going to be this Sunday, Sunday, February 19th, 5:05 p.m. kickoff time. I'll probably be on a little bit earlier than that, but watch for my YouTube channel for the stream and join me, won't you, while we watch the game. It will be a lot of fun. It might be a slaughter, but at least there'll be some rugby that we can watch and enjoy and see if maybe the Dallas Jackals, who are, I feel, everybody's second favorite team, try to pull off victory against the Houston Sabercats. Weirder things have happened. So we'll be doing that. Hopefully, if that goes off well, we might do more watch-along games throughout the season. Also, don't forget, again, guys, join my Rugby MLR Super Brew Pick'em pool. Information on how to join the Pick'em pool. We already have 13 players playing, which is a little bit more than what we had last year, which, again, thank you everybody who has joined my Rugby Pick'em pool. It's absolutely free. It's a lot of fun. I'll do a weekly review of how the standings go so that you can see how you are compared to everybody else. And again, if you win, you get yourself a free Major League Rugby t-shirt of your favorite team, courtesy of Rugby411. It'll be a lot of fun. So, hopefully, let me know what you think about my picks, especially this Rugby New York Seattle one, especially you New England fans, because I know you're not going to like what I thought about with the New England Free Jacks. But let me know if my picks are off, and of course, we'll review after all the games. I watch every game throughout the season, and we'll talk about them. We'll see how far off my picks were. And hopefully I'll go 6-0. Start off the Rugby 411 Super Brew Pick'em Pool with a 6-0 record. We'll see. So, again, thank you very much for watching this video. I am super excited for Major League Rugby 2023 season. I hope you are too. And enjoy week 1 of the 2023 season. And I'll see you on the pitch.